everyone. This is Jason Rumble from the New England Indy Insider. And this week, I have with me the promoter of Main Event Wrestling, Mr. Mike Turner. How we doing, Mike?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So, for those fans out there that don't know much about the state of Maine professional independent wrestling, give us a quick brief history on Main Event Wrestling.
Well, Main Event Wrestling was a concept I came up with in 2018. I had been working alongside Global Independent Wrestling for the past few years and really wanted to branch away from that. Last year, after running with Global, I decided, let's take it to the next level and let's start Main Event Wrestling. Little funny side note, people may have heard about Main Event Wrestling prior to me. Not noticeable to myself. I didn't realize that there was a secondary company years ago with the same name. I changed it up a little bit. I think they were Maine as in MAIN. I of course used MAINE, which separated out a little bit, but. It was amazing how many people knew about it but didn't know about it at the same time. So, I started promoting in April, and we had our first show last year in September. We ran again in November, and we were scheduled to already be 3 shows deep in for 2020. But this whole pandemic hit. I grabbed wrestlers from all over New England, up and down the East Coast and Canada. Many different talents, all different skill levels. I'm looking for anybody, that wants to work. Basically, I'll give anybody a chance.
Cool, man. Basis of your show area?
Franklin. We run out of Franklin, which is about 10 minutes outside of Ellsworth, heading east. They're beautiful vets club right there. It was a great location for all, but there's food sold, beverages, things like that. They have a big bar for everybody, so there's a little something for everybody. It also is kid friendly, so it's almost it's almost like a downscale version of a WWE event. Parents can get what they want, whether it be beverages or the food. Kids can have the same thing.
Yep. What's some of the talent that you're utilizing that maybe other promotions aren't utilizing?
I'm really trying to bring women's wrestling to the state. It's just something that's not here. We don't have any women wrestlers currently in the state right now. I believe Mistress Belmont used to live in the state. I'm not sure if she does now. I think she lives in New Hampshire. I could be wrong with that, though, too.
Yeah.
But other than her, there's nobody here, so it was really hard for a women's division to pop up. They were even far and few throughout New England, but they've recently, over the past 10 years or so, really started to pop up.
Yeah.
We bring in Nicole Matala, Angel Sinclair, Jaylene Coda, Masha Slamovich.
Yeah.
A good core group of everybody. So that's as far as the women go. We have guys out of New England. Brandino Davis. We know him. I love my guys over in Canada. Shout out to Dwight. He's he's a funny dude. Or backwoods. Ryan Riggs. Of course, Jason Rumble. We can't forget about him.
Yeah, well, I kind of have my hands in on everybody's wrestling promotion. Some people call me Wrestling Mafia.
Yeah. See, well, I like to use a few main guys as well. With so many promotions out right now, I think it kind of gets flooded. All these main guys, so everybody's starting to see the same faces over and over.
Yeah.
So I like to mix it up as much as possible.
Yeah. You have the same philosophy as I do right now, anyways. You have more of the philosophy on the women, whereas I have an infatuation bringing Canadians in.
Right. I started to grow on that one.
I know, because I forced the Canadian issue on you.
Yeah, but I can't complain though. I can't complain.
No, but none of the other people are bringing them in, and that's what sets us aside.
Right, right.
You know,
It's also it's good to spread out though too, because you meet a new face every time, because everybody's going to all kinds of different promotions. If they have something good to say about you, then other people start hitting you up. It's
yeah,
amazing. Daily I get people from Texas, California, everything.
it's interesting, this independent professional wrestling.
It
Now,
really.
for those, who do you feel is your breakout star uh, that you're going to have in the next couple of years? That he's not only just say going to be on your show, but he'll be on other shows, and people just have to see this kid before he could be scooped up and into the big leagues. Who do you feel is the breakout star right now in the independent scene in Maine?
The independent scene in Maine. Are you
Yep.
are you now now are you getting at that they're from Maine or just come to
Well,
Maine in general?
basically, yeah. Even if they're not from Maine, they're working in Maine, or they could be from Maine, like a guy like Mac Daniels. Do you like? To me, I believe Mac Daniels is the breakout star that
If I
quite
was gonna go,
possibly in a year or two he won't be on a Maine independent wrestling show. He'll be elsewhere.
if I was gonna pick anybody that was in the state of Maine, I would say Mac Daniels myself.
Yep.
He's got the look, he's got the style. He's right there. Um, uh, but if I had to pick somebody else, it would be from the New England area. I would definitely, and he's getting there, and he's just about there. But Anthony Green, I mean, without a
Awesome.
doubt, he's before everything was going down, he was with Evolve and stuff like that, and
Yep.
you know, that's your next step up, So
What are some of the things you're going to do when indie wrestling realistically we're allowed to come back and we're allowed to advertise that we're having shows? What are some of the changes or things that you're gonna bring to main event wrestling for the fans?
well, honestly, if anybody watches this podcast and starts to follow, main event wrestling, they're going to notice that I'm looking to do something in June, regardless of whether it's with fans or not. So uh, June's really going to start up for me. What will be interesting is that regardless, fans will be able to see it for free. They don't have to worry about the IWTV or whatever or anything
Yep.
like that. They'll be able to see a show free of charge, online to get the ball rolling. When things can come back as far as fans and stuff like that, I mean, we're not gonna let up. We're gonna keep going with what we had been, with our stories, and uh, new champions are gonna be crowned the first few shows back, things like that. So a
Yep.
lot of new faces, a lot of different faces. You, with everything going on, I've really had a chance to step back and look at who's going to be there for main event wrestling in the long run, and
Yep.
what they're bringing to the table and can continue to do so.
Well, that's good. You have a vision on how you want the company to be built. Now, I think it's cool that we're all kind of in the same. We're in different territories and we concentrate on our building as one, which is a cool thing. And I really believe that Franklin can be a draw. Just like I believe that to a certain extent, my shows in Machias booked the right way can be a draw. Like me, I'm looking to break into Cal. I'm looking to probably go up to Callis for September. Only for the simple fact is, in around here, the Pellin Center is not going to be used for the meantime. Right now, the Pellin Center is being used as a medical center. People can
Yep.
go there. So until the building that I used to utilize to a certain extent can be used for professional wrestling, and high school gymnasiums may not be prone to want to let something like us be in their venue right now. So there's a lot of you're lucky right now. You have a building that's not being used for medical use and things of that nature. And I really don't have a plan of attack, but it's good that you have a plan of attack. I do know this, that once there is an okay, and people like you will influence me to get my plan of attack going. But it's cool you have a plan of attack going, and things of that nature. Are you going to be shooting any matches for YouTube TV or anything like that? Will anything like that change as far as main event wrestling?
So once again, I'll revert back to this coming up, in June. I'm going to tape the whole show as if we had fans or not. I'm going to put it out over YouTube and see the reaction basically. My page carries a lot of followers right now, so that'll float over to YouTube. I may adjust how it goes moving forward. Normally, I don't tape shows like that. You know what I mean? The full show. Yep. I'll have clips and things like that. But normally I don't tape the whole show. But this may be a start, to change that and offer it in different ways. Once fans are allowed back in.
Yes. So basically, right now, main event wrestling, and so to speak, fashion is coming back to do a studio type thing.
Yeah, I'm going to do it without fans regardless. I mean, you see it with AEW, WWE, things like that. Of course, I'm nowhere, my pinky is not even close to them, but, it's going to be that. It's the similarness, similarities are going to be there.
Cool. Well, when that happens, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to do a little insight and a little write-up for the New England Indie Insider, so that these people can get some actual wrestling news. That'd be cool. I greatly appreciate that.
No, certainly. I mean, I think the more people that see something happen, I mean, somebody had to test the water somewhere along the lines, and, people aren't going to like it. People will love it. You know what I mean? This whole pandemic's got everybody a little off kilt from the normal. So, I think once it's done, then that'll open the floodgates for more from different companies.
Okay. So in a nutshell, I got probably 2 questions left. We'll wrap it up real quick. In a nutshell, what sets your company aside from the other independent wrestling companies that they're going to see Mike Turner put on that other companies aren't going to put on?
New faces. Definitely. I mean, you'll see a lot of the same ones, but you're always going to see a new face every show.
Okay. And last but not least, how can they find out about main event wrestling except for what I'm telling them? What's the social media aspects? What's the websites, things of that nature? This is your floor right now. Promote your product, brother.
So basically, there's going to be a few different ways coming up. The big thing right now is if you go under Facebook, it's Main Event Wrestling /Premiere Now. You can follow us on YouTube. We do have links there. It's not too flamboyant at the moment, but we're in works for that. And I have an website being put up shortly.
Awesome. Well, Mike, I thank you very much for your time. This has been Jason Rumble for the New England Indie Insider. We'll see you at the events. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Jason Rumble for the New England Indie Insider, and I have an exclusive interview with the promoter of Independent Wrestling Entertainment, Mr. Sonny Roselli. Hey, Sonny, how you doing today?
Good, J-Rum. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Well, basically, what this program is we're going to incite the wrestling fans who don't know the ins and outs of Maine Indie Wrestling. You are the owner and promoter of Independent Wrestling Entertainment. How long has it been in existence for?
IWE has been in existence for about 14 years, I believe, maybe 15. Originally owned by Eric Johnson, who's one of our workers now. Then bought 5 years ago, with me and John the Bomb. John the Bomb's the other owner and the promoter. We took it over then. Eric was getting burnt out, and it's been 2 shows a month for the last 4 years. I mean, we've steady, good times. Every twice a month, same buildings, Fairfield and Cityside. You've been there. Nothing better than the pizza place that has wrestling at it.
True that. Now, your wrestling promotion is more geared towards helping out the up-and-comers, basically, in professional wrestling, and giving a home to some of us older veterans like myself. Speak a little bit about some of the young talent that's coming up right now.
I would say IWE is a great place for people to learn how to wrestle. Our fans aren't smart marks. They're fans. They want to be entertained. It's a great place to learn how to wrestle, come up, get a lot of matches. As you get better, people move on from us. Sorry about that. They move on from us, bigger, better things, and then sometimes they come back because they like it. The talent that's come through, Jimmy Limits has gone from not could barely work, but very green to now very seasoned. The Street are amazing. The two of them, if you haven't seen them, you need to see them. I'm trying to think who else. The Horror. That's a name that nobody knows, but that guy has developed into quite a wrestler. Just trying to think. Osiris has been here. Mark Moment was here. A lot of people have come through. A lot of people that you wouldn't know got their start here. Even I forgot her name. Oh, that's horrible.
Sasha Banks.
Yeah, in the WWE, her first matches were with us because as long as you're safe, we're pretty much going to put you in and let you work, and we don't. You get to go out and do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have started here or make comebacks here.
Now, future-wise, when do you foresee that independent wrestling in the state of Maine might actually return to a said normal?
It's looking September-ish. State of Maine's opening up slowly. It's open to 50 people. I would like to hope I would get more than 50 people at a show, plus the workers. I would say September would be when we're back full-time as normal, my best guess. Okay. I mean, there's more trees than people up here, so we should be all set.
Exactly. Now, do you think with some of the ongoings, like with how professional sports is coming back, do you think that it's going to be required that we may have to take temperatures of independent professional wrestlers?
I hope not. I hope by the time that we do it, it's back to normal. But you can remember a time when in Maine wrestling, you had to have a mini physical in blood pressure and heart rate and heart rate, and you had to have a mini physical before you could wrestle. We've done it before. We can do it again. I mean, take your temperature, make sure you're not have a fever. Let's do it, right? Whatever it takes to get back.
Yeah.
I mean, before we would have a commission there, making sure that we had our blood pressure taken, our heart rate was normal, and we were healthy enough to wrestle.
Okay. Give me a couple of young guys that you really didn't mention that are basically unknown that really need to be seen by some, New England wrestling fans that actually could break in over the border, so to speak, leave Maine wrestling and like go to like NCW or one of these other type of promotions that's in Mass, Connecticut, or Rhode Island. Who's some of these hidden gems that we really don't know about?
You would actually know better than me because you're still wrestling them. I show up, make sure everything's straight, ready to go. I watch a little bit of the show. I'm just trying to think of who stands out. Normally, the guys are given 100%. JP O'Reilly is coming through. He's been there a while. He could go if he wants. The Street again. Is there anybody younger? Todd Harris actually started with us and worked his way up through to where he's working a lot. Anybody come to mind for you and help my memory?
I think if Big Raph gets in the right place, really in the right place, just and gets his mind on becoming a legit pro wrestler, I think Big Raph has the most to gain out of any of the young guys. And like those young guys, I see a lot of them. They rather talk a big game on Facebook instead of like posting videos of them like actually working out and training to be on a professional wrestling show.
I will bring one up to you, Frankie Jaeger.
Yep.
Frankie Jaeger, he's one that I can, if he wants to, he can leave the state of Maine and go somewhere else. I was one of his first trainers. He actually got it quite quickly, broke his arm, still came to training with a cast on. Raph has been following us since he was like 8 years old and gets the whole aspect of wrestling. It's not just the move set, his facials, his selling. He just has to get a little bit more dedicated to the actual sport of it.
I'd like to see him get out of where he's at and move his way up to the Let's Wrestle dojo. I think that those guys just more honestly, those guys take him when you go to their place, they take it a little bit more seriously. In my estimation, still what the state lacks is a legit, bona fide veteran that has been paid good money to be in the ring with people that made wrestling a living. That's my honest opinion. And nobody's ever reached out to the fact to try and make that big. Nobody's ever reached out to the fact to say, well, the money we lose right now could be the money that we gain in the long end because all of a sudden we're turning out good professional wrestlers.
Eric
Johnson is the closest guy to being reputable that wants to train in that whole state. And he really doesn't even want to train, you know?
Right. That's been a problem with the state of Maine from the beginning. There's no veterans. I trained 2000, late 2000, 2001, had a trainer, taught me the basics, but I had to go learn outside and go to shows and try to pick stuff up because there wasn't any veterans here for that. Yeah, and I would say the dojo is a great place to learn, but still lacking the one, the name that can get you somewhere to book on. I can help you get some places, but not every place, right?
Yeah. Well, their one true veteran is Alexander Lee.
Right.
I love Ben to death, but name recognition on who he's wrestled to pass valuable knowledge back on is suspect. Other than that, I think Ben's a good kid. Ben's grasped wrestling. The one thing I give Ben the utmost respect for is he never let people tell him that he wasn't going to make it. He is still scratching and clawing day to day. So I really think that like his story is good to these guys, but showing the legit like small things like I mean, this is an interview for you, but I brought a few of these guys up and I had a seminar about 3 years ago. And Raph had never even known about a overhand wrist lock, which is the first move we learn when we lock up. But yet he already knew how to throw a choke slam. He could throw a sidewalk slam, but he didn't even know what the value of a lockup meant.
Right.
So
yeah, it's tough. It's tough being here in Maine. The killer was too far away.
Yep. No, I know that.
When I went to school,
a ton of times.
When I went to school, I went to school 15 minutes away or 4.5 hours for Kowalski.
Yep.
I was going to go to Kowalski. I ended up going, 15 minutes away.
Yep, but you ended up around good talent.
Yeah, because I traveled. I got out of state. I went to Canada. You had to do it to get better.
A lot of these young guys aren't doing that.
The thing that IWE is, it's the beginning promotion. It's not the ending. It's not the middle. This is where you cut your teeth. Are we going to have thousands of fans? No, but we're going to have 100 who like wrestling, and it's where you learn how to work in front of the crowd.
Yeah.
That's how you get polished without – I have to drive to Vermont 7 hours one way to get this. Now they can get it twice a month in the state. Before that, there wasn't anything here.
I will say this. You got the best champion in the whole state. Bar none. Luke Robinson is the best thing you guys have done.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Luke is
He's
Luke.
legit.
Oh yeah, no, he was trained with Tony Atlas. I got him when he was really, really green, and we used to run weekly shows, and he honed his skills, and now he's coming back because he likes wrestling.
And like I said, when you put that kid on the poster, people are gonna come.
Right. He
Best
looks like
decision you guys made. I was so happy to see him come back because that has legitimacy. And when you talk to a guy that's 48 years old like me, who've been talking to you guys over the past 2 years about, well, I think I just want to write in the backstage with you guys now, and let me just help book, or can I get a promo tonight and maybe a tag? You guys actually influenced me to say, all right, I'm getting back on the training regimen because now here's something that, gets my competitive juices flowing.
Right, exactly.
So I believe down the road we're going to have some good matches that we'll be able to promote.
Definitely. I think everything's going to get back to normal. I think the fans are going to want to be out to see us. I think it'll be the biggest attendance through the fall because nobody's had anything, not anybody. I mean, all the promotions up here now, when I started, there was one. Now there's like 6 or 7.
Yep. One guy I forgot to mention was Malik Logan. I think Malik is a very underrated competitor.
I think Malik's tremendous. Only gotten better. He's been here, makes the drive 5 hours, 6 hours each once a month. Has continually improved his skill. Even though he looks like he's going to be out of gas, he's not.
Yep.
Right? And he's only going to improve. He has good size and he has a great attitude.
Okay. Well, I'm going to wrap this up here, but what I'd like to do is just give you a quick minute on promoting the IWE in general with the social media and things of that aspect. So here's the floor, Sonny. Talk to the people.
All right. IWE has been in the state of Maine 14 years. I've been around almost 20. You're going to be entertained when you come there. It's kid friendly. I have kids of my own. There's nothing that you wouldn't want my child to see. Anytime they want to see good, wholesome wrestling, which is the way it should be, come to our show. And it's still only $10. Where can you get a ticket? You can't even go to the movies for $10 anymore. And you can guarantee that we're going to be running one, probably 2 times a month forever. John the Bomb's going to die in that seat. He ain't going anywhere. It's true. It's true. We've been waiting for that seat forever. He's not going. He'll take the tickets until he can't walk.
Yeah.
But if you see IWE, you know you're going to get 2 hours of entertainment. Will it be the greatest wrestling? No. But you'll be entertained the whole time. And these kids are trying as hard as they can. And you can watch the progression of your favorite and how much better they get over the years.
How would they find you on social media?
We're on Facebook, IWE, whatever, Independent Wrestling Entertainment, the Fan Nation. I don't know. I'm so old. I don't have any of the Twitters or anything.
Yeah.
But I still put up posters every month, or have up until we got a little break, and do a little bit of the Facebook. But IWE Fan Nation is where you can find everything else.
Cool, man. Well, Sonny, thank you very much for being on the New England Indie Insider and be in an arena near you, baby. IWE action, catch them. They're red hot.
Sooner than later.
Hey everyone, it's Jason Rumble for the New England Indie Insider. And this week, I have none other than NAWA promoter, and he's a personality of the company, Mr. Larry Huntley, otherwise known as Cousin Larry, to all of you out there. How we doing?
I'm doing great, brother. Just trying to get through all this stuff going on in the real world.
That's right, man. Well, how old is NAWA, and what does NAWA stand for?
NAWA is North Atlantic Wrestling Association. I started the company with that name because I wanted to do a territory feel.
Yep.
Everybody has their cool names and stuff that could mean anything, and I wanted to have something that reverted back to the old days, back when all the territories were around. Instead of having, the super big show, I wanted to have something that's the championship of all of the North Atlantic. You know,
Yep.
it makes it seem more realistic, a little more bigger than it really is, but it gives it a little more credibility, I think, when we introduce the North Atlantic title, not the Alphabet Soup title. So whenever we do a show, whenever you just announce the champion, he's always the North Atlantic champion. There's no NAWA heavyweight champion. That's Alphabet Soup. I want it to be a region.
Yep.
We started running 7 years ago. I live right here in Buxton, and I had I did a fundraiser for my town, and I did it. And I said I hated it, and I hated it, and I hated it. I hated promoting from before, years and years ago. I did that for 2-3 years, and now I'm promoting 25 to 30 shows a year.
There you go.
So the hating it is it's I hate it, and I keep doing more and more of it.
The New England wrestling fan or the Maine wrestling fan that's never been to one of your shows, what type of atmosphere, what type of product do you provide for the wrestling fan?
I have 2 different kinds of shows. Most of my shows are very kid-friendly. They are story-oriented. It is good guy versus bad guy. I like the old school. A lot of people are doing the new school stuff, and that's great. They can go do it. If I'm going to promote, I want to do what I want to do. And I have good guys versus bad guys. We tell stories. We get the fans riled up so they're involved in the show. That is for my all ages show. That is for my all ages show. That is all my shows except for my bar shows.
Yeah.
And I do 3 or 4 shows a year at Gino's Rock Club in Portland. And if anybody has been to one of my Gino's Rock show, it is not kid friendly.
Yeah.
It is 21 plus. You can drink and have fun. There's no chairs. There's swearing. There's, all that stuff that you would do at a bar. And it is the most fun show I've ever put on. In indie wrestling, like local stuff, it's the most fun I've ever had as a wrestler. Anyone that's ever worked my shows, when you mentioned Gino's, oh, Gino, I got to be on your next Gino show, Larry. It's so much fun. You can ask any indie wrestler who's been on my Gino show. I've had Anthony Green on him. I've had Josh Briggs on him. I've had AC Baby on him, plus all the regular New England guys. And everybody shows up and goes, oh, when can I be on Gino's again? But Gino's is like my big show.
Yeah, I need to make that part of my bucket list. I've been one visited a Gino show, and I believe that my character is like a hand in a perfectly fit glove. Not an OJ glove, but a perfectly fit baseball glove. Like,
how about this glove?
Yeah, well, Larry, I don't take.
What if you got to wrestle me?
I'll wrestle you.
With this?
If I had to go into the bar atmosphere to earn my payday and I had to wrestle you, that's fine. We all gonna do things once in a while.
I still remember the Battle Royal in Everett, and I'll just leave it at that.
Hey, I'm a good team player.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't do this to my rookies. Well, we would.
But I show people there that if I'm willing to take them, what everybody else should be.
And dude, I never, as a wrestler, I don't give more than I take.
Yep.
I don't think it's right. I hit harder than most people, so I would never ask anybody to take more from me than I would ever give back to them.
I was always told the veterans looked at it this way. If you shunned away from it, that's more that you were going to get.
Yep.
If you took it like a man and they seen that you took it like a man, you got no more.
Exactly. You mess up with me and you might get 8 of them.
Yep. How about Rick Fuller back in the day?
Oh, yeah. I've done that to a couple people myself, and it's been funny.
Yeah.
And over the years, I don't know if you can see.
Oh, yeah.
But this hand is actually bigger than this hand.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's from hitting people for 20 years or not, but this hand is puffier and wider than this hand.
It could be. Talking about itself. How about some of the characters that you feature on your shows?
All right. On my shows, I love characters.
Yep.
Okay, once again, I'm going back to the old territory days where there were characters, and wasn't just cool guy number one and cool guy number two.
Yep.
I have the horror, who's a baby face and loves Cheetos.
Yep.
I have Blade Bandit, who's like a Sonic the Hedgehog, crazy, goofy guy. I use Malik Logan. I use Flash Nick McKenna regularly. It's been so long since I've done shows. I'm trying to remember everybody I used. I use a young kid who's learning and does everything I ever ask of him, Lee Miller, up in the Fairfield area. I use him. He's a great guy. I was using my stepson, Kyle.
Yeah.
He's getting done pretty soon, I guess. He has a little one, and I got a little grandson, so he wants to start getting away from it. So he's going to have his retirement match the next time we do Geno's. So, but I have a cast of probably 6 or 8 local guys, and then I bring in 4 or 5 other guys so that I'm always rotating people.
Yeah.
I can't even, you know what? I apologize to everybody. It has been 3 months since I've run a show. And if I had 2 minutes to actually have done a little prep work, I should have opened up my booking, and I could have given you all my names.
But there's on there, we're about highlighting the company.
Yeah. I wish I have so much fun. Everybody shows up and has a good time. I have a great locker room, and if you don't fit my locker room, don't worry, you won't be around long.
Yep.
I don't play politics, inside or outside politics. We're all a big family. We all get along. I don't agree with some of my guys, and my guys don't agree with me. But you know what? When we walk in the door, we're just brothers. So we put on a good show. All I ever ask my guys is intensity and leave it all in the ring. That's all I ever ask them, and they give me everything I've ever asked for.
Yeah. I tell people,
if anybody comes to my shows and you are not happy with my show at the end of the night, except for if it's a heat storyline thing and you don't get what you want, that's too bad. That's what wrestling's supposed to be, to get you to come back. But if you don't think my show stands up to par, you come see me and I will give you back your money at the end of the show.
Yeah. Now we all know that you're the dominator of all of the. Yeah, there you go. You patched a little bit. You are the dominator of all the fair shows. Well, we know with the COVID-19 gimmick going on, it's basically the proverbial monkey wrench into the most famous, one of the most famous states that has state fairs, which is the state of Maine. With that being said, when things open up, where do you envision, what month, and where would you be looking to open have your first show after this whole COVID breakdown?
All right, here's what's going on as I've heard it so far. Skowhegan is not canceled.
Oh, wow.
They are there in August, and the reason is they have run 201 years in a row. They are the longest running agricultural fair in the country.
Oh, wow.
And unless they cannot get any way around whatever rules, laws they have to do, they want to run, even if they have to bring sizes down and limit amount of people and what's going to be at the fair, whether that affects me or not, I don't know. But they still want to run the fair because they don't want to lose that distinction. They've run for 201 years in a row. They started in 1818.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're talking about, even if they have to pare some stuff down. Now, honestly, if I was them, what I would do, I don't think anybody really goes for the rides.
Yeah.
No, I would. If it was me, I'm not, that they're going to do what they're going to do, but I would just get rid of all the rides, cut down on some of the food, and space things out more.
Yeah.
And they may be able to get a variance to have more people in there than they would otherwise. The good thing is they're not in one of the bad counties.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. And they're not going to make a decision until at least July 1st about August.
Okay, good.
So there's still a possibility of that going on. And I'm hoping it does, because I haven't been able to hit anybody legally in like 3 months.
Same here. Tell you, like I tell everybody else, the day I won't ever, so to speak, retire from indie wrestling, because you can't. But I will tell you this: until the day I cannot lace my boots up, I have told you to your face, I am on the Skowhegan Fair every freaking year, and every fair show you have, I want to be on them, even if that's only
Aren't
wrestling
they fun?
the rest of my life. That's all I wish to do.
Fair shows are so easy. The fans just love wrestling. They love the good guy versus bad guy. You don't have to go out and kill yourself. That's
I love
great. And the other thing is, I still have the Farmington Fair. That's toward the middle to the end of September. So we're still talking another month and a half after the
New Portland or whatever it's called. Or what?
New Portland. I haven't heard a cancellation on that one either. So who
What
knows?
about the ones up by Callis that we do too?
Springfield, I have not heard back from. They always get in touch with me about 3 months out. So it could be any time if they choose to. In fact, I just dropped them another email to see if they're interested. Let me know. Usually, you got to pay a down payment. You got to do all sorts of stuff. I'm like, guys, if I can help you out, just let me know. We don't have to deal with any of that other stuff that I would in regular years. That kind of stuff. So none of my fairs have canceled with me yet.
Yep, good.
So, not to say we aren't down a little bit of money.
Well, yeah, I know all. Believe we're coming up with new things. Like I'm telling people, I might only be wrestling for maybe 1 to 2 people after this is all this done. I'm actually making headwaves in this like type of market right now. I've got a legit producer who's legit runs a FM radio station. Worked with people in Florida getting the original podcasts off the ground, things of that nature.
Are you talking to Jesus? You broke up on me, brother.
We are back. This is Jason Rumble, and I have an interview that I'm going to wrap up with Cousin Larry, a.k.a. the owner and promoter of NAWA, this week here on The Focus with the New England Indie Insider, the promoters and promotions. So, when we break out of this pandemic gimmick here, where can we take a look out for your first show to be?
At this point, I'm probably laying really low. I have outside hopes that Geno's is going to happen in September, but I really don't think so. If Geno's doesn't happen in September, my next one that I'm hoping for is Springvale. I always do that Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend. I always put on my posters, Thursday is turkey, Friday is shopping, wrestling is Saturday. And then Geno's in December. So that might be it for me for the year, except for fair shows. And I'm still holding out hope.
Yep, me too, myself. That it's funny you say that, because every year I run a Saturday after Black Friday show myself, but we're so far away that we're given to different demographics, and it's awesome that we think like that. Great minds think alike. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I always thought there was nothing to do on Saturday. They were all done doing the stressing on Thursday and eating on Thursday, stressing on Friday, and they need something to relax again. So
yes, sir.
It's a captive audience. They're not going anywhere. They've already been somewhere.
That's right. So how can the wrestling fan, the wrestler of tomorrow or the wrestler of today, find the NAWA on social media, your platforms? This is your stage right now.
You could find me personally. Just type in Scufflin' Hillbilly and then start writing in Larry, and it'll come right up for you. You can go on and look up I Love the NAWA. That's for the company itself. And it will go to our company page. That was the one that actually, I apologize, put in North Atlantic Wrestling Camp.
Okay.
My mistake. Put in North Atlantic Wrestling Camp. And that's what we used to have, but just couldn't make it work. It was hard in Maine to be able to make that work. And I'm doing way more now as a wrestling promotion. I could either do one or the other, And the other stuff was coming to me so much that I just had to stop doing it. I love doing it, but that's where you find the stuff for the wrestling shows. It's North Atlantic Wrestling Camp, and then you will find me at Scufflin' Hillbilly, and I always put out some funny videos. I always do some stuff. Usually it's from me in the truck.
Yeah.
Look, Mark, no hands while I'm driving. And if you get a chance to come to one of our shows, anybody out there, please do. Our fan-friendly shows are just that. They're for all ages. The little kids, you won't have to take them out because there's bad stuff being said or, booties being shown. The old people are going to remember it because it's going to you'll see some stuff that will revert back to the 60s, 70s, and 80s. They'll be like my matches have a little comedy tint to them. But once the beating starts going, I go, oh, Larry really hit them guys. I'm like, you right, I am.
That's
so there's
right.
other guys like me there. That's the way I like to promote. It's the way I like to wrestle, But you got to make it a 3-ring circus. There's a little bit for everybody. And then my Gino shows are off the hook. Anybody that wants to see a show that's a little out of control, that has a great atmosphere in a little building, come to Gino's. We will be announcing a show, I hope, for December very soon. Like I said, I don't think September is going to happen, but eventually we're going to get back to it, and I hope all the fans come back out and watch us and any wrestling promotion that comes to their area. Support your indie wrestling, whether it's me or not, and have a great time when you guys are out there because you guys help make the show. Jason, I'm going to go back to 1998.
Okay.
Back when I first met you, back in the True World Order. I still have my T-shirt somewhere. There was nothing better before I ever got into business. There was nothing better than going to an indie show because you were part of the show. Somebody in the third, if you have a big show, you got 600 people in there. That means somebody in the 5th row, 6th row stands up and screams at you. The guy turns around and says what he's going to say. You go to one of them big company shows, you can't hear anything. All
That's
you
right.
hear is, wow. You want to be interactive. This is and the other reason why in indie wrestling, our first matches are to elicit response. It's whether it's 2 old school guys getting the yay boos going, or whether it's new school guys jumping out of the gym. It's to get people to know they don't have to act like it's a movie theater.
There you go.
They're so accustomed to going, put these hands under your butt and shut up. And at the wrestling show, we're trying to convince them not to. They've been critiqued so long to do that we gotta get them in that mood to get them going again. So I want all the fans, if you're wrestling fans, come back out. We'll be out soon. No one's jonesing for wrestling more than I am.
Yeah.
I have to hit somebody again. I can't wait. But I hope everybody comes out and see us, and thanks for having me on.
No problem. The NAWA owner, promoter, and personality himself, Scufflin' Hillbilly, Cousin Larry. Thank you for being on a profile in Maine wrestling for the New England Indie Insider. This is Jason Rumble. See you at a near you. You're watching the New England Indie Insider. More after these messages.
Oh my God! Nice chop.
Gonna be dueling chops here, Smash Master.
Luke retaliating with harder chops than Cam, that's for sure. Overhands.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the New England Indie Insider, and like I promised you this week, I'm giving to you, I believe, not only Maine's best professional wrestler, but if he kept on going with things, I believe he'd be top 5 in the world today as far as top wrestling talents that race the professional wrestling ring. Let me bring in what I believe also to be the last tough enough WWE winner, my friend, my brother. I've shared the ring with him many, many times. The golden boy himself, Mr. Luke Robinson. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Very flattering words. Much appreciated. Maybe a little hyperbolized, but I'll take it. Thank you very much. I'll raise a drink to that.
There we go. I've been on that. I believe I've been on that lake. Maybe not in that specific boat. You're enjoying things. obviously there's no professional wrestling going on at this time on the independent scene. But your last match, you came back and you captured professional wrestling gold in the form of the IWE Heavyweight Championship. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you are the flag bearer for the IWE. Enough with me talking. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing, and yeah, so after Tough Enough, it's not that I ever stopped loving professional wrestling, and in fact, like, I was almost able to get more into it as a fan again because I could stop judging it as a performer. I could just enjoy it like you did when you're 13, 14, 15 years old and you're not overanalyzing it. What I didn't miss was some of the backstage politics, especially seeing it at the highest level in the WWE. And, there's a lot of people who love their job there, and there's a lot of people who are sick of all that, all of the politics stuff. So anyway, whenever I have a chance to kind of do a show that's simple, to the point, I've always taken pride in keeping myself in shape and being ready for that. And at 35 years old, I feel like really I'm still as good a shape or better than I've ever been. So I was ready for that match for the championship. And like you said, it's really an honor for me to still be a part of Maine professional wrestling. And then to bring the way I was, kind of brought up in the business is to merge kind of some of the old school psychology with the new school pace and moveset. And so sometimes it can be, I'm sure you know how it is, it can almost be in a way intimidating because some of the work rate, some of the things the guys do nowadays is so off the charts in terms of the acrobatics and athleticism. But at the same time, I go, hey, we finally become the old timers where we go, hey, slow it down. Here's how you can get so much mileage out of a lot less. And so anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to bring back. And like I said, always stay within fighting distance shape-wise, and was able to bring home the championship. So here we are.
There you go. Well, Wolfpack Fitness, that was the big thing, and it's still ongoing. And talk a little bit about your fitness program that you got.
Yeah, so really, I'm going to tie it into professional wrestling with the theme is what I love about professional wrestling is it's everything that I love to do as a human being, which is you have athleticism, you have your performance, your storytelling, marketing, you get to express yourself as a character. It's almost like, it's like Halloween to me, where I always wonder to myself, how would people dress every day if it wasn't, in Halloween, people dress up how really it might be how they feel on the inside, but it's socially acceptable for that one day. What professional wrestling allows folks like us to do, it's the folks who, we have it is a real part of us, but professional wrestling allows us to express that part of us on, as we always say, turned up to 10, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, my fitness program is the same thing. I try to make every workout more than it's not just about the workout, it's about the experience. So everything's outdoors. If there's a holiday around, I try to make it themed around that holiday. So, suppose it's Patrick's Day. Everybody dresses in green. I use spray paint and decorations to decorate the equipment. The music is themed towards that holiday. So really, my fitness program is the same thing for wrestling. It's allowing people to express themselves on a deeper level, to tell a story within. And even I do that. Suppose the workout theme will be, hey, we're going to do you're at a rock concert. That's the theme of the workout. Well, really, they're just doing an overhead single arm shoulder press, but it's your fist pump at the rock concert, right?
I love it.
Pushing a big tire back and forth. That's you in the mosh pit, pushing people back and forth. So anyway, my fitness program is really the same things that I love about professional wrestling. More than just a workout, the same way that professional wrestling is more than just a match. It's an experience. Yeah. So I always want to make sure it's a memory for people, and they can take more than, oh, did I get my ass kicked during the workout? It's not just about that. I go, nobody really remember, A to Z about Hulk and Andre. They remember the slam.
Yes,
right?
sir.
That's what you remember, that one big moment. All our Patriots Super Bowl wins. We might not remember, right? So anyway, my fitness program is really the same thing. I'm just trying to create memories for people, trying to make it an experience, and it's not just about to kind of relate to professional wrestling. It's not just about the moves. It's about the story and the experience.
All right, let's jump ahead a little bit. So obviously you got yourself back into the ring, and we all just don't wrestle per se. So you got in, now you're the champ. I believe right now the IWE, through the whole state of Maine, and I'm just going to keep the Limitless and the Let's Wrestle out of it because I believe it's a different demographic of independent wrestling product. When you compare, say, NAWA, you compare IWE, you compare the promotion I promote. It's much different indie wrestling. So right now, I'd have to say, out of the true indie wrestling promotions in Maine, the IWE has the top dog, as the best wrestler on top. You came, you took this title. What are some of the guys that you see on the IWE roster that you'd like to tangle with?
Well, the folks that were in that match with me are obviously all great competitors. Eric Atlas is another one who's been there, throughout the years. Getting a little bit of wind, fellas. Sorry for that. Anyway, really, number one, I'm talking to him right now. You and me, we've had some of my favorite matches of all time. You were the first one when I was, just a young cat coming up in the business. Challenged me to limits and taught me to, get outside of my comfort zone. So really, if I'm being honest, you're the guy that I'd love to compete with next for that championship. And it's for that reason it's never complacent with you, right? It's never, I'm never in a comfort zone. I know you're going to push me. I know you're going to challenge me. And it can be scary, of course. It can be scary to work without that, we'll call it that safety net. But that's when you find out really what you're made of. So anyway, the Boston bad boy, Jason Rumble, is the guy that, number one, that I first and foremost.
You're giving me chills, and you're honestly making me because, I'm 48 years old, and to hear that from a guy that is a dozen years younger than me, that I'm still a measuring stick, so to speak. I'm working my gym out now. I'm waiting for some rubber bolts to come in so I can use my punching bag, and I figure I need a good 30 to 60 days to get my body in proper condition in order to give the fans that they're going to expect when you and I lock horns. I look at this match, you and I to lock horns. It will get fired up just the way it's going to happen, just 10 times. And, I know I have to have my A game plus. You just said it right there. I put you to the challenge. You're going to expect to watch me. And, I would not want to do the injustice to the wrestling fans to not want to give them the type of match that you just proverbial poked the old bear in the belly and said, "This is what you're going to do, old man." And I thank you for that.
But in and out a little bit, Jason.
Well, when the fans do come out, do you have any words for the fans of New England? In a little bit. Get them to come out to the arena and especially have the fans out there.
Say that one more time, Jason. I lost you just for a little bit. Anything for the fans? What were you saying?
Well, when you come, the fans really haven't seen you in a while. And for the New England fans that haven't seen you work,
right,
give them some, tell them why they need to come out and watch Luke Robinson work in that professional wrestling ring and why a $10 ticket is well worth the money.
Absolutely. So you see Luke Robinson wrestle again. What you're going to get is that perfect mix, again, old school storytelling with new school athleticism. And so you're going to leave with a memory and experience. That's always my goal, no matter what I do in life. I just want to leave people with at least one moment they're like, hell yeah, dude, that was so awesome. And so anytime I'm wrestling or performing in front of people, that's always my goal, is to leave them with a little bit more of that memory experience in the other matches. Yeah, sure, there might get fireworks in the other matches, but if you see fireworks, something I learned a long time ago, if you see fireworks every day of the year, how special is the 4th of July? So for me, it's not just about the moves. It's about that one moment in the match where you're like, you just get gripped. And as a fan, that's always what I loved. You know, you watch Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock matches back. The moves aren't what draw you in. It's how they do things. It's not the what, it's the why and the how. So that was always so special to me. So, and again, not only that, but also, like I said, 35 years old, which I know is not quote unquote old by any means. You said you're 48 now. It's hard to believe, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, my point, I know. Hey, we've had some of the best moments of our life right here on this river, though, huh, man?
That's right. I remember going out to that island and we had the treasure chest buried. And we were late as hell for the NWA On Fire tapings that day.
For me, though, I'm also...
Hey, give the fans a quick give the lake.
Looks like a wrestler. Yeah, absolutely. Here we go.
This is what we do here in Maine, baby, on a beautiful day. Hit the lake and give up some fishing. Well, Luke, it's been awesome having you as a highlight superstar on the New England Indy Insider. For the fans out there, how can they follow you? How can they watch some of your matches? Give them some ways to get in touch with you.
Awesome, yeah. So if you want to check out Wolfpack Fitness at Facebook, it's facebook.com/Wolfpack Worldwide. On Instagram, it's Wolfpack Wild. And then one of my favorite matches lately, I had a great match recently against, he was on another reality show with John Cena. Come on, his name's escaping right now. Cam what? Come on.
Cam Zugami.
Yeah, thank you. So if you look up Luke Robinson versus Cam Zugami, that's probably one of my most favorite recent matches. Check that out on YouTube. On the WWE Network, you can check all the season. I believe it was 5 Tough Enough from 2011. I can't believe it's almost been already a decade, but I'd be honored if you check that out, everybody. And again, when we start independent wrestling back up in Maine, come check it out. Again, it's always going to be worth the price of admission to come see the redneck rock star Luke Robinson in action.
Love it! Luke, it's been an honor and a privilege. We got to make some time so I can get you on Being Humble with Jason Rumble, my hour-long podcast. So
beautiful.
I'll get in touch with you in the next week or so. I'd love to have you on.
All right, you got it, brother. Thank you so much.
Hey, everyone. Well, that's the end of this edition of the New England Indy Insider, and it's been my honor and privilege to give you just some of the promotions and promoters and some of the talent here in the state of Maine and independent wrestling. Till the next time, this is Jason Rumble for the state of Maine and independent professional wrestling for the New England Indy Insider. See you next time, wrestling fans. Be there!